as she tells me, you're not going to be growing more than 6'1", and you're going to stop growing at 17, 18, that height. I'm thinking to myself, what? How am I going to stop growing at that age and then only be 6'1"? I was told I was going to be 6'1", but then I was going to stop growing at 17. But then now I look at my height. I'm 15 years old and I'm 6'2". So that nurse was like really wrong. Imagine like your nurse telling you, your school nurse telling you that you are not going to be growing taller than this and you're going to stop growing at 17. Imagine your nurse actually telling you that. This is literally what happened to me. I was told that I wasn't going to grow more than 6'1". They thought that I was going to stop growing at like 185 centimeters. And I'm 6'2" now, 188 centimeters. This is because like I knew that there was something I could boost my growth. I was almost like kind of like overweight, if you could say. Kind of. I was weighing 82.5 kilos. That was like 180 something pounds, 181, I think. And I was only 5'11" at that time. This was in the end of May, towards the beginning of June, I think. And I was 14 years old. And then I decided to like change some things in my health, like my diet. I didn't really eat sugar anymore. I started working out. And I like, in 5 months, I remember, especially in June, I had grown like maybe 4 centimeters in like 1 month or something, like really fast. I went from like 5'11" to almost like 6'1" in like, it felt like almost less than a month. And now, because when you normally get taller, you normally, like, your weight goes up because your body is making you taller and expanding. You need like more weight to be able to take care of your body weight. Like, it's just when you're normally growing, because your body becomes bigger, so it obviously takes up more space. So you normally go up in weight. But I went down like 4 kilos almost, and I grew 8 centimeters. Now, if I was going down that weight, like if I'd gone down that weight when I was only 5'11", I probably would have been 76, 75, something like that. But now it doesn't seem like I've gone down a lot because I've grown. It doesn't seem like that. And I always wanted to be like 6'2", 6'3", and I am now. I'm 6'2". I'm 15. I'm pretty sure I'm still growing because I'm like getting this shin pain. And I just want to make one disclaimer. I am not any expert at this. I've just been like collecting information, taking from the things that I did when I was growing a lot, and also finding out things that I did wrong. So do not take this as medical advice, but you can try some of these things out, see if it helps you. Because not everything I'm saying is probably going to be right. I might be wrong. So please, I'm not an expert at this. I'm someone who literally I've been researching quite a lot. I spent like over 15 hours researching this. So just bear with me, okay? So sleep. You need to go all in. I remember I was sleeping at 11, 12 hours. You say you want to sleep 10 hours. You, if you're sleeping 10 hours, you can't be in bed for only 10 hours. You have to be in bed at least like 11 hours, something. Because the amount of time you're actually sleeping is very little. You need to ditch your schedule. I know this might sound very bad. I know this might sound very bad, the fact that I'm telling you to stop having a schedule, stop having a routine. But this is literally what I did. I was doing this. I was sleeping at like 11, 12, 11 p.m., 12 a.m., waking up for Fajr at 3 a.m., and then I was sleeping in until like 12 p.m. I'm saying this because if you really want to grow, if that is your number one priority, you need to just sleep as much as possible and sleep early, especially in the winter. In the summer, I don't think that's really possible if you're living in Europe, especially I'm living in Sweden, where like literally it doesn't get dark in summer. If you're from Sweden, you'll know what I mean. And you need to sleep more hours before Fajr. If you're trying to sleep now in the winter, especially in the time when you can at least get like 6 or 7 hours of sleep before Fajr, you wake up at Fajr, do that. Because when you're having your sleep broken up in half, if it's in half, that's literally the worst thing you can do. Because when you're having that sleep in a row, it will make you, yeah, like, because all the hormones and all those like big hormones, growth hormone, all those things that are coming out, all of them, they go into deep sleep, all in the deep sleep, all in the later stages of sleep cycles. And if you have barely gone for any sleep cycles and you're resetting it again by waking up in the middle of like the Fajr, because you have to, it's a Fard. But like, if you're doing it in the middle instead of, for example, sleeping 6 or 7 hours before Fajr and then sleeping 2 hours after or 3 hours, because then you at least, if you for some reason can't sleep after Fajr, you at least have okay sleep because you got through those later stages. And you just need to take advantage of the winter. I don't understand what I was thinking. In November to like January to like mid-January, I could literally sleep 10 hours and wake up before Fajr. I'm not even exaggerating. I could easily sleep 10 hours and wake up like 15, 20 minutes before Fajr. And you need to take advantage of the winter. And remember, I learned this. Sleep is almost as important as eating. If you're sleeping like 6 hours a night, you won't be able to work out properly. You won't be able to grow. You won't be able to get any gains. And I'm just saying because sleep is literally one of them. You sleep 1/3 of your life on average. If you live to 80, inshallah, like if you live at least that long, inshallah, then basically you'll be sleeping, I don't know, 80 divided by 3, which is like 20 something, 26, I don't know, I can't. And just don't drink energy drinks. You're at my age, 15. You want to drink energy drinks. You want to get that energy, get the, like that. You want that energy. But at the same time, you don't need that. If you're not being tired in the first place, you won't need the energy drinks. Those energy drinks are mostly just artificial dyes and all this sugar and stuff. It's basically just like drinking a Fanta or something like that. And you need to like avoid caffeine. I didn't drink a single cup of coffee. I didn't drink any energy drinks. I maybe had like one cola or something like that. Maybe 3 or 4 times in, maybe max 1 or 2 times per month. And I haven't even had like a cola in a really long time, probably since August or something like that. And I'm recording this video in February. And don't eat 2 hours before bed. Now, I can say that I am not able to do this all the time. And I'm probably someone who just doesn't follow what he's saying. Because I'm saying something to you, but at the same time, I'm not really following it. Because, for example, if food is ready at like 6:30, 7 p.m. and I need to sleep at 8, I can't just like sleep early. I mean like sleep before the like eating, because I have to like eat, like it's ready and stuff. But then at the same time, I remember what I was doing. I was literally like eating like a bowl of like this oat cereal that had like, it was, compared to most cereals, especially in like America, it was like really healthy. But then like the milk and the sugar, I wonder if that has like ruined my growth. Because I was literally sleeping like, I was eating like 20 minutes before bed. And I know carbs before bed, some people say they're good, but I'm thinking now, because my body was like focusing on digesting, I feel like some part of my sleeping wasn't like at its highest. Like I think that some of my sleep could have been improved. And you see here, it goes to the pituitary gland, and literally this like goes to your liver, IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor, a hormone that uses like to extend your bones, muscle growth. Those get released during the early stages of sleep. Sleep tip. I know this might sound weird. If you are like anxious, you're unable to sleep because you're like stressed out. If you're unable to sleep because you're like stressed out. If you're like lying down and you're sitting there, what can I want to sleep, Get out of bed. Just get out of bed. Get out of bed. I mean, just get out, because if you're associating sleep with stress, You won't want to sleep when you're in bed. So try and only associate your bed with sleep, because then you'll feel tired and melatonin will come out, the signal, the hormone melatonin that makes you want to sleep comes out then. If you have to sleep less, let's say you have a job really early in the morning. I don't know who to have it. If you're growing, I don't know if you're like under 18. Okay, you might have a job. I'm not sure. I don't know your circumstances. Take a nap. It can help you catch up on sleep. It can help you to be able to catch up on sleep. And taking a short nap, especially 10, 20 minutes, it increases your growth hormone. And it's very good to do take naps, especially when Fajr is early. If you, for example, need to wake up early, sleep maybe 1 hour in the midday or like 90 minutes. It'll help you stop feeling tired during the day. Like, naps are quite underrated. I remember once being really tired and I took a nap. I felt like completely like, boo. I felt like as if I'd had a second sleep, which I had. And also it's a sunnah. And a 10 to 20 minute nap can be good anyway, even if you're like sleeping enough, because the thing is, if you are really sleeping enough, you won't really feel tired. So I'm not sure if you really would be like tired enough to have a nap. And babies, they napped a lot. Do you not notice how babies grew so fast? Babies like grew so fast to the point where like they would be growing like every month a few, like, I don't know, many centimeters. They were napping all the time, bro. The thing is, they were having like proper naps that were like more than 1 or 2 hours long, so that they were getting their deep sleep where they were growing. So can we maybe not do like that? You need to eat a lot. I was literally like, I was eating like 4 or 5 meals a day. You need to be in a calorie surplus. Your body needs energy. Dude, calories need to be used for growing. And I know this might sound weird. That bulking without junk food. Because I was watching this podcast, and dirty bulking literally stunts your growth. It does. Eating like 1,000 calories more than you normally would with junk food, it's not good. Eat a lot of normal foods. Eat meat, eggs, good carbs. Like, eat lots of like pasta. I mean, maybe not mine would be good carb. Potatoes. All these natural carbs that exist. Natural carbs. And eat a lot of protein. Protein, bro. It builds up your body, builds your muscles, builds everything. Like, I know about everything, not everything, but like, I don't think so at least. But like, protein is literally one of the most important things. Get your chicken, get your beef, get your lamb or whatever you want to have, like your tuna, your eggs. The protein is gonna help you a lot. Because I remember I was eating like cheese a lot. I was eating a lot of meat. And also, at the same time, I was eating like 4 or 5 meals a day. I wasn't really dirty bulking, to be honest, because I was never eating sugar. I might have been eating a lot of processed food. I was eating probably these premium things from the store that probably were quite processed. And I was also eating like a lot of seed oils. But at the same time, I was like not eating that bad compared to what most people eat. If you can't bulk and you're skinny, eat fast. This is one thing you do. You see these people, you might be even watching this video right now while eating. When you have your phone, you're gonna be eating slower. I've seen people, you like, you eat slower. Your brain won't react as fast if you're like, let's say you're eating a bowl of like pasta and you're eating like, your brain will react if you eat really slow that, oh, he's eating a lot, so don't let it make him want to eat more. And so if you eat really fast, you'll be able to like eat a lot without even like your brain knowing this, because your brain won't be able to realize fast enough, so you already have eaten a lot. And I used to eat really fast, and I still do, but like, it's all liquid calories, bulking, bro. Bulking. Use peanut butter, honey, olive oil for high calorie. Like, you eat high fat stuff. Sauces have a lot of calories, but I know they do have a lot of bad things in them as well. Like all these gums and all these like artificial stuff. Sandwiches with eggs and like, you're the real butter, not the margarine. Margarine that's not even made where like, it's not even made from milk cows. And that's like, so like 100 grams of butter has like 700 calories. That's such a good bulking. And salmon as well has high fat. Nuts you can also eat, but like, I wouldn't really recommend nuts. I never really ate them. And pesto pasta, like literally, that's like so many calories. Avocados as well. Oats, bananas. Like, if you have this is like one of the best I've seen this protein shake. Because if you just add a little bit of olive oil, literally like 200 calories like that, and you won't even taste it. Choose high fat options. Choose the full fat milk. I was drinking full fat milk. I was like eating or everything that was higher fat. I didn't care. Avoid low fat products. Prioritize your higher fat. Don't take the cheese with like the 40%. I don't know how much fat. Like literally, that's the best bulk. If you're on an early schedule and you need to wake up early, if you're like waking up at 6 or 7 a.m., try and sleep around like 8 p.m. This is what I was doing. I'm still doing this. Like, I'm sleeping around, trying to sleep 8 p.m. I'm sleeping like 9. And I'm waking up at like 5 something, 5 o'clock something, 5:15, 5:10 or something like that. 5 or 5. And if you sleep as early as possible, you will be able to get enough sleep. You might even like be able to, if you sleep at 8, you might even be able to have like enough sleep to be able to wake up at 6 naturally. Sleep as early as possible if you can. And take naps to compensate if you cannot sleep for that long. Sleep a lot on the weekends, if possible. Don't make your schedule too different every day. This was a big mistake I was making during school. And this is probably the reason why I grew during the summer, because my schedule was literally the same every day, basically. I was sleeping every night at like 11 p.m., 12 a.m., waking up at 12 p.m. roughly, 11:30 a.m., 11 a.m. If you're sleeping at the same time, you might be waking up slightly late on the weekends. Okay, that's fine. Wake up slightly late on the weekends, but don't sleep later. If you still sleep the same time, you will never like. I don't think you will ever, unless you're really sleep deprived, you won't really sleep really in, because you just wake up slightly later on the weekends. Just sleep at the same time and wake up slightly later. And the weekends, bro, you need to like take advantage of the weekends. Don't eat 2 hours before sleep. 3, if you can do this, you're probably gonna boost your growth a lot, because your body can only do one thing. It can only digest. It can't do other things at the same time. And like if you're sleeping, your body won't be like sending out the hormones, processing your thoughts. It will just be focusing on digesting. And this all can make your sleep quality worse. Can make your sleep quality worse. And I was noticing this sometimes. I think that my sleep quality was worse. I genuinely think that I might have been thinking that I was sleeping a long time. I wasn't actually sleeping that long. And when your insulin levels are low, and you need to get into this deep sleep, slow wave sleep, that's when growth hormone gets secreted. These are the two conditions. And when your insulin levels are high after eating like a meal, it will literally like, that's growth hormone won't be able to be released. For growth hormone, the conditions won't be fulfilled. Digesting, it ruins your quality. If you can't, just make sure that the food isn't high in glucose, because then you won't at least have the high insulin levels. Should I avoid dairy? If you have like someone who's told you to avoid dairy, like just don't believe them, because it has calcium, literally strengthens your bones, makes you. Have you never seen like people that drink a lot of milk and they grow taller? Eggs have loads of nutrients. The yolk is literally fine. It's fine. You're not like, if you're like under 18 watching this video, between the age of like 12 and like 17 or even 18, watching this video right now, you're not gonna die from eating 4 eggs a day. And I remember I wasn't even eating eggs until like maybe July, maybe August. But I have been eating them since like September. At least like I've been eating them for a long time. As phosphorus, a good mineral, vitamin D, B, iron, and all protein, calcium, and vitamin D together combined are really good for your bone growth. And chicken is really high in B12. Like it's one of the best vitamins vitamins that makes you grow taller. And taurine, bro. Taurine is an amino acid that controls your bone growth and formation. Don't sleep too late. Now, I know I'm not sure if this exactly is true. I've read some of these articles, but at the same time, I feel like it's more true. Because when I sleep late, I'm waking up in the middle of the day, and I've like been sleeping when it's really light in my room. it feels like my sleep wasn't as good because a deep sleep. I didn't get into deep sleep, but when I slept once, I remember sleeping a few weeks ago at like 8 or something, and waking up naturally at like 5 50 or something like that. I felt refreshed, and it affects your growth hormone. Sleeping very late, I'm pretty sure it can like affect your deep sleep. Your sleep cycle will be altered if you sleep at 2 or 4 a.m. You'll be literally awake all night, and you'll be like awake for maybe, especially in the winter, like 4 or 5 hours during the day, unless you're like if sleep depriving yourself, and you are like less growth hormone production, because if you're getting that the sleep before like midnight, I don't know why it just feels so much more refreshing. Melatonin is only like released at night, so if you are literally being awake at night, your body will be like not think like your sleep cycle will get completely ruined. And sleeping after 12 a.m., you should never like sleep after 12 a.m. I feel like the sleep after 12 a.m. is just light sleep, less deep sleep in general. Stress, bro. You need to remove this. Literally, one of the things, if you have chronic stress, it will stunt your growth. It will. And I remember I was never really that stressed. I remember just being like, Alhamdulillah, just going about my life. Like, I was literally, I noticed this. I was like barely stressed at all. I was always trying to be like happy. And this was a good thing. I was trying to be positive. And one of the things that I've started doing recently is taking magnesium before bed, because I noticed that this makes me just calms down so much more. And read read books before bed, read Quran, read any kind of like good book, and don't entertain your negative thoughts. If you're ever thinking negatively, that will literally like just, you'll get into that trap where you just like, like just thinking like really like, weirdly, and think positively. Don't be around negative people. Don't be around, don't entertain your negative thoughts whenever you're thinking that. If you're having like, for example, in Islam, like waswas, don't entertain it. Think to yourself, ask this question. Is it really like, is it really like logical that I am having this? Is if I'm having to think 50 times about this, is this even something that I should be thinking about? And think positively. Don't be around negative people. Those negative people, if you're around negative people, you will be negative, you will be stressed. And this is gonna ruin your growth. And believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have tawakkul. Do your best and have trust in the qadr. Have trust that you will be able to grow taller, inshallah. Mind. I know this might sound a bit crazy, but like I was just thinking of this. Your mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control other people's minds. You can't control what other people are thinking about you. The only thing you can control is your own mind. And if you are thinking to yourself, I will sleep easily. I've done this. I've visualized me being able to like do this workout, me being able to do this certain thing, and I was able to do it. And make yourself believe that you'll grow. I'm not even sure this is gonna work but I'm trying to try this now. Make yourself think that you'll sleep well. Because I genuinely, if I'm like visualizing, thinking that I'm gonna sleep well, I feel like I've just fall asleep. If you're genuinely doing the rest correctly, like you will grow. Like just remember to just keep believing yourself and keep the sleep up. How to calculate your sleep? Now, if you go on this website, you can calculate your sleep. Now, if you go on this website and you want to calculate your sleep, this is a website I use. I'd never really use it, but if you, for some reason, want to be able to, if you're like into like exact timing, if let's say you want to wake up at 7 a.m., and this is equivalent to, I think 9 hours, and this is 10.5 hours. This is the time when you'll be sleeping. So just because if you wake up at the end of a cycle, you'll feel less tired. And also though, like you didn't skip a certain part which were the hormones being secreted. So I generally don't really recommend this, but at the same time, it's a good thing to have when you have school, especially. So I really just recommend you can try this. I've never really done this, but you can try if you want to. How I reset my sleep schedule. Now I went from this. I was sleeping at 11 p.m., waking up at Fajr like 4, 5, I don't know whenever Fajr was, and then sleeping until like 9, 10. And this, I didn't feel good. Didn't feel good with this kind of schedule. I was like feeling like not tired, but at the same time tired, and I didn't feel like I was sleeping properly. And how I reset my sleep schedule is doing this one thing. One day I slept at 11 p.m., 11:30, 12, almost like I probably fell asleep around 12 a.m., 11:30 p.m., and I woke up at 6 a.m. And I was really tired. I can agree. I was really tired that day. I felt like I couldn't do anything. And but then at the same time, I was able to sleep so much earlier that day. I was able to sleep maybe 9 p.m. A really good time compared to that. And I woke up at 6 the next day again. And if you keep doing this, keep sleeping earlier, reset your sleep schedule one day, you'll eventually just be naturally, your body will be like, your circadian rhythm will be adjusted. And one of the things that you should do, set your alarm out of hand. I set my alarm across the room. I literally have to get out of bed. And ask yourself this whenever you don't want, when you're going to go to bed, say, do I want to fix my sleep schedule? Is you sleeping now more important than you fixing your sleep schedule? Ask yourself this. This is an actual step. Now, when you're fatigued, you'll be able to sleep as well much easier. Because when I was really tired, I was able to just lie down, like, sleep like this. Underrated thing to fall asleep easier. If you're not doing anything the first 4 hours, then literally your RAS is not going. It's a reticular activating system in your part. It's a part in your brain. It's just telling you that you did nothing. It's like telling you when you're trying to go to bed, maybe they're thinking that. That's why like many people are problem solving in the night, because they're thinking they didn't do enough during the day. When you sleep and did nothing productive, your frontal lobe goes to the RAS and tells like he didn't do anything. Because a way to trick yourself into like being able to fall asleep is make the first 4 hours of the day productive. So what you need to do is like do your laundry, do your workout in the morning. Just wake up directly. Do nothing that is wasted time. Don't scroll on social media. I know this might sound hard, but if you really want to grow, do this. For the first 4 hours of your awakening, do things that actually have meaning. Do your homework. Do all the things that actually are good for you. And the importance of not wasting time. Read your Quran. Like, you get all your like important things done. Just don't do anything that isn't like productive. Don't use your phone. Don't use your brain for like unnecessary things in the morning. Your frontal lobe would then like think that you did nothing if you did nothing in the morning, because you won't fall asleep as easily. Negative emotions, they literally activate the RAS. It activates you, keeping you awake. When this part of your brain is activated, it keeps you awake. When you're using your phone 24/7, you're suppressing negative emotions. You need to stop using your phone before sleeping, because you will start like thinking negatively. Like when you're like finally putting your phone away, you'll be like, when you finally put your phone away, you'll be like thinking about all these negative thoughts, all these thoughts that you had. They've not been disappearing. They've been just suppressed by your phone, like constantly giving you dopamine. Give like 1 hour before bed. Just do this. 1 hour. I don't know, you can start less if you genuinely can't do. Just write and journal. Even stare at the wall or go outside for a walk. And just don't talk to anyone. Just like, I like journaling as well. Because like, I'm just thinking about things and like, should I do it? Like, I'm thinking like, And at least guess who makes sure you don't think about all the negative thoughts at night. And orexin is something that like, it's a chemical that keeps you awake. So I know it's always a chemical. It's something that keeps you awake. And when you have high carbs, like when it's low, it'll keep you awake. But when it's high, it'll make you like want to fall asleep. High carbs before like the last meal, 1.5 hours, 2 hours before bed. Have high carbs, because that'll make you like have a high erection and go to bed. And have fruit, like healthy carbs, and our like having no period of darkness and lightness, just only darkness. This isn't gonna be good for your circadian rhythm. You need to be like going out in the morning sunlight, going out in like the early darkness. Your brain will know tonight. When you're playing video games, when you're wasting your time on video games, your brain is not like removing the negative thoughts; they're just suppressing them. They're still there. When you, as soon as you like, if you turn the monitor off, remove the sound, you'll be starting like thinking about all these negative thoughts. Think about you playing a game with the monitor off, muted. Same thing literally happens when you're sleeping. You don't do anything. You're just sitting there, and you have plenty of time to think. You have you. I'm not. You don't have like. If you spend 1 hour less of video games, you're not gonna die. And I don't think you should even be playing video games. A lot of video games are just like wasted of time. I mean, it's all a waste of time, in my opinion. When you vent someone to someone else as well, that's why like when you go into psychologist, for example, you feel better because when you like you guess you stop thinking about it, you're just talking about it. If you like spend 30, 45 minutes just like vent yourself out just by like writing a journal, like talking about why is it bothering you, it will help you sleep easier. Procrastinating to go to sleep is one of the things that a lot of people do. Taking yourself from the bed is literally the worst thing you can do. It will literally ruin your sleep. Take away the access, because I noticed that people that you, it's very easy to think, just take away the access, because if you put your phone in another room, you won't feel that impulse. Because the same way, the analogy of someone who, if they are want to eat junk food and the junk food isn't at the house, you don't have the junk food. You simply just have to go to the store to buy the junk food. That will add them an extra step to be able to get the junk food. To be able to get like the junk food, they will have to be going to the store. But if they have the junk food at home, they won't have to do anything. Just go to the cabinet, go to the cupboard, and then just get the junk food. So if you have this impulse with your phone, fingerprint, autoplay, auto everything, it's making you just go on your phone subconsciously, and you go to it like 1 to 2 hours later than you by like using your phone before bed. Now, letting your phone be in the other part of the room in the night, like don't have these like these signals that just like keep me awake. Discover what is keeping you from sleeping. Is it the stress? Is it your phone? What is it? Is it the people talking in your room? Is because your RAS is keeping you awake. If you're not doing anything the first 4 hours of the day, you'll be keeping yourself awake. Spend 1 hour of just unstructured mental activity like journaling. Thoughts, they use your energy. They do. They use a lot of your energy. Have you not noticed that when you're thinking about like something really like annoying, you're like gonna feel really drained afterwards? Like you're doing a test and you feel drained afterwards, even though like you didn't do anything like physical. You just did something that was like using your brain. Expose yourself to sunlight. Now this isn't really possible for me, especially in Sweden, because like the sun doesn't go up until like at the moment like 7:30 almost, and 7:30 a.m. yeah, and alertness in it will make you feel more alert, and it helps you having melatonin produced at the right time. If you're living in like a country where there is like a decent amount of time, like 9 hours between night and like sunrise, whatever, like a normal time, like that the sun goes down at like an okay time, it helps you having melatonin produced at the right time, because your body temperature also gets adjusted when you like see, oh, I see all these lights. Your body temperature will get adjusted and you'll be more awake. Avoid this. Just avoid this. Switching your sleep schedule on the weekends. Energy drinks. This is unhealthy. Don't change your sleep schedule, because you'll just be going back in that cycle that I was in, just keep changing and changing. And just don't eat processed foods. Now, I did eat processed foods, but just don't try and minimize it. And don't eat sugar in large amounts. And at all, ideally, don't eat sugar at all unless it's from fruit, like fruit or milk or natural sugar. And eating before bed, don't do this. Don't do this, because it's not good for you. As I said early in the video, it makes you not be focused on your digesting. Don't skip on milk and carbs. You need carbs. Your body needs carbs, because how are you going to be able to get those extra calories without carbs? You need carbs. I was eating a lot of carbs. And don't be dirty walking. Now, don't eating like junk food, because it can ruin your growth. Don't eat a lot without working out. I was working out. Why I started doing it, I was running. I was running every day, 2 kilometers, 2.4 kilometers. And don't cut out dairy. IGF-1 is in like comes from dairy. Insulin-like growth factor helps you grow, and long bone growth. Don't skip on vitamin D, bone mineralization, bro. You need that. And don't be in a catabolic state, calorie deficit. Less IGF-1 and growth hormone will become released. Lowering carbs can also actually lower your GH. And don't use any kind of drugs, cigarette or anything like that. It's haram as well. And something that you should do, avoid the normal ketchup if you can. Because the normal ketchup has like 20 grams of sugar. And the unsweetened one is like 4 or 5, and it's natural sugar as well. And it doesn't even taste that bad, to be honest. If you're genuinely addicted to sugar, start by doing this. Go 1 day a week where sugar is not allowed. Go 1 day. Now progressively over the next week, go 2, then 3, then 4. And then until you reach 6 days a week. You can stop there. You can stop maybe make like Friday the day that you only eat sugar. But I'd recommend, if you really want to maximize your growth, remove sugar completely. Once a month maybe. And replace it with sugar. I know honey has sugar, but like it's a low glycemic index. And I was eating like an ice cream a week, but I think that might have affected my growth. You could replace it with like honey, fruit, stevia, and like other kind of things that will like satisfy your cravings. If you genuinely can't help him, go 1 time a month. 1 time a month that you can eat sugar. Try making your sugar only come from fruit, like bananas, like really high. Bananas are really high in sugar, but they're also good for you. Exercise, bro. You need to be doing exercise. Now, this is literally the thing that started making grow really fast. I started running in May 2023. I came back from some holiday, and then literally just tell myself I have to run. I started running every single day. 2 kilometers. I started first 2 kilometers. And I noticed that I started like growing really fast. I noticed that I started growing really fast. Like in 3 weeks or something, I'd grown maybe like 2 or 3 centimeters. And when you're running as well, growth hormone is like increased. You're using your legs, you're stretching your shins, like working on your knees. You're growing. And exercising during your puberty literally boosts your height. Do some kind of sport, football. Have you noticed why basketball players are always so tall? They're stretching like this. And you need to run, like, run. I was doing 7 times a week. I think that was a bit overboard. But at the same time, it got me where I was now. I was running 2 kilometers every day, 2.4 kilometers. I increased it. Make your legs move. Run 4 times a week. Dead hangs are literally like the best things you can do because it's stretching out your body, like hanging deadly. Like I mean, not deadly. I mean, like dead hangs, like just hanging on a bar. Swimming as well, like stretching your muscles. I probably should have done this more. And cycling, I think cycling is like one of the most underrated. Like stretching, putting load on your legs, stretching your legs, and do a 3 times a week full body workout. This is what I do. It spikes your GH a lot more, your growth hormone. And when you're working out 3 times a week instead of doing the bro split, instead of working out each muscle once a week, you're working out each muscle 3 times a week. So, and this also saves your time, especially you don't have any excuse to skip 3 times a week of working out, like, because you'll be having school, but you can do it on the weekends 2 times at least. So do it 3 times a week, full body workout. Ideally have 1 day in between, like do full body workout on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or something like that. Stress, keep it at bay, bro. You are made to be stressed 24/7. Our brains are meant to be stressed 24/7. Cortisol makes you so you can't sleep. If you're having, without potassium, your pulse is also going out. Your pulse is going up, and your elevated heart rate, you won't be able to sleep. You won't digest. Stress needs to be low also for absorbing minerals. Physical stress is something that's normal. Do something outside. Go outside and like do something that is actually stressful, like running. That is meant to be. And vitamin B1 combats also your stress. Try taking this as a supplement. And potassium, magnesium, all the vegetables have this. And these are the most important minerals that like keeping your heart rate low, being able to like not be stressed. Vitamin D as well. Have you not noticed that like when you have low vitamin D, you can also feel depressed? As well, you need to breathing, like this is one of the best things you do. When you're breathing out like this, when you're like breathing in and out at the same speed, your sleep feels so much better. Like stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, and this will make you be digesting and like be wanting to go to bed. View light in the morning. Go see the sunlight, not through a window. Go out in your balcony, because you'll be able to like properly get the light. Go walk in nature, like a park once a week or something like that. Breathing inhale, like this is one of the things I've tried. Like if you do like this, you just feel so much better. And this is something I've done the last week. Disable my notifications. I've noticed it's like I was never really stressed, but I just felt like I sometimes just like feel like I have to answer messages and stuff like that. But after just disabling all my messages, I feel so like I feel like there's nothing like I used to think that like I had like this message I had to always reply. Well, no, I don't feel like that anymore. I just like check my messages. Because I check my, when you, for example, when you're in the mood to check your message, that's when you actually check it. Instead of checking it when like the notification comes, you're maybe not in the mood. It reduces your stress. Also makes you waste less time. You use your phone a lot because of notifications. Those notifications waking you up in the night. Like I understand people they have the phone on like at night time, and then like they're having all these notifications. Does working out stunt growth? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Doesn't stunt our growth. It's a big myth. A big myth. But if it can maybe stunt your growth if you're using too heavy weights. Too heavy weights to the point where you're not like recovering. And just working out can actually increase your growth. I was running and that increased my growth. Don't overtrain. That's the thing. You need to not overtrain. Overtraining is probably one of the worst things you can do for your growth. Or I'm not sure exactly how bad, but I'm just saying don't overtrain. Supplements that I used to take. I was taking fish oil every day. It's good for your joints. And multivitamin, I was taking this every day basically because I need to get all the minerals. And this is something that is really optional. I generally think that if you don't do this, I wasn't even taking this at the time. I wasn't even having whey protein at like that time. But whey is literally like the cheapest. I know it might sound very weird to me to say this, but it's the cheapest form of protein. 30 grams of whey protein costs like $0.8. That's like cheaper to compare to any other protein source. And it's also animal based, so it has like amino acids that are really good. Common deficiencies you're having is like having a fatty liver, and I'm not meaning like you actually fat, like having too much fat inside of the liver. High fructose corn syrup, something that is in the UK and US, it stunts your IGF-1, insulin like growth factor, grow, and zinc. If you're not having any zinc and you're having too many refined carbs, too much sugar, no red meat, alcohol, it's haram anyway, but like if you're having alcohol, caffeine, not having like sufficient protein, it will stunt your growth. Having a lack of sleep, lack of vitamin D. That's one of the worst. Like you can have a lot, like having low vitamin D is a common deficiency. And you see having like products with zinc, tuna. You don't eat tuna too much because of mercury, but shellfish, red meat. Go outside on like, or if like in the winter now, take a tablet of vitamin D so you don't have too low levels of vitamin D. And how to curb your sugar addiction. If you have a lot of money and you want to buy it, if you want to be able to curb your sugar addiction, replace sugar with this one plant. It's a natural plant. There's 0 calories called Stevia. 250 times gram like sweetened sugar. And it will help you cope with sugar. And also, it's been proven to be good for your gut. And I think that this can easily make you quit sugar because it's like it tastes almost. If you, as long as you're not putting too much, you won't get that aftertaste. And it can be used in hot chocolate. And I really love to have this. Like take cacao and milk, warm milk, and then just put like a with stevia. Make sure it's pure as well because a lot of them have like dextrose, which is secretly sugar. I mean, it's better than having normal sugar, but like secretly, there's always like they put all these things. If it's like 100% concentrated stevia, it'll be like really small, like a packet like 50 or 100, no 100 grams. But then it will be like you put like 0 point something, 0.01 grams or something like, and it'll taste as if like it's sugar. It's just put very little and it's sweet. Cheap way to satisfy cravings if you can't afford that like fruit. Fruit has vitamins. Apples, pears, bananas. They have like all the vitamins and they're also quite sweet. Helps you to cope without processed sugar. Helps you to like because the normal sugar that exists in apples and stuff, it's alright to have it because it has also and they also have, like for example apples has antioxidants. It removes harmful things in your body. Vitamin C also helps with maintaining your bones and that exists in a lot of fruits and replacing sweets with fruits is just, you just feel so much better. Optimal conditions for sleeping. A cold room. Cold room, 16 degrees, 60.8 Fahrenheit. And this is what I do. It's in the winter time. It's the winter time. And I open the window like full blast. It's like freezing in the morning. But at the same time, I fall asleep so much better. I feel my sleep quality so much better. As well, not having eaten 2 hours before sleeping. And sleeping before 10:30 p.m. Because then like your body like... Because when you sleep after like 11, your hormones go in cycles. So basically, you'll be like... You suddenly... Have you ever felt like you're lying trying to sleep? Yeah, you through like at 9 p.m. maybe. You feel like you can fall asleep, but then when you actually lie down like 11 p.m., you feel like, oh, I can't sleep, and you fall asleep after like 1 hour. That's why. So to have a dark room, full dark, your melatonin will be more released like if you have full dark, no noise. Only noise you can probably have is a white noise, like a fan or something like that. And take magnesium before bed. I actually think that this is something that you should do because it's like makes me sleep a lot better. And don't be stressed. Don't be stressed. You're not stressed. Like think to yourself that you're not stressed. Put a blue light filter on your phone before 2 hours before bed, and don't use your phone 60 minutes before bed. And something that I've tried starting to do, put micro pore tape, because this will make you so you only breathe through your nose, and breathing through your nose also increases your breathing quality and thus improving your sleeping quality. And if you really genuinely like, if you're and white noise can also help you. What if I wake up in the night? You're waking up in the night, it's because of many things. You might need to go to the toilet, blah, blah, blah. Just make sure that you've gone to the toilet before going to bed. Don't drink, like, chug a bunch of water, like, before bed. Because you'll probably wake up in the night. Having high insulin might make you wake up in the middle of the night. Especially when you, like, waking up when you actually need to sleep. Like, if you're waking up at, like, I don't know, 4 a.m. and you're sleeping at, like, 12 p.m., a.m., I mean, you might actually be like need to sleep at 8 or 9 p.m. Might be just your body clock is like that. And also, if you're not exercising, your sleep might be ruined a little bit. I think that my sleep is so much better when I'm exercising. High insulin as well. And vitamin B1 is good for sleep apnea. It works with the part of like brain of sleep, breathing. So breathing. If you're breathing really well, you'll be able to sleep better. Vitamin D. And also, when you wake up in the middle of the night, don't look at a clock. That'll just give you more anxiety that, oh, I need to fall asleep quickly. Don't drink as much as well the hours before bed, because you just be needing to pee in the night. Read before bed. Read at least 15-30 minutes. Get into the flow state where you're like reading, you're like really interested in the book. Because if you find it fun, like you'll find it fun if you lower your dopamine standards. If you stop using your phone as much, you'll be finding reading actually fun. I find reading fun. I used to always find it fun, but at the same time, it wasn't really finding it as fun because I was like really like addicted to my phone. And read something you like. Read a story, different kind of books, like even different kind of books, and make it part of your routine. Make it so that you feel tired via like utilizing your brain. You're using your brain like reading all these things. After you read, you can also fall asleep very fast. When I fall asleep very fast, like it's when I read. I noticed that once I was trying to like fall asleep, I didn't read at all. But I fell asleep. I like couldn't fall asleep. Even though if I like even read like 4 pages, something like that, I'll fall asleep so much easier. Because when I don't read, for some reason I just don't fall asleep very easily. And just don't sit around thinking about it. Don't. Storybook also like helps you fall asleep. Have you ever noticed that have you ever noticed like kids falling asleep so fast after like parents reading them a story? Because like their brain is like not thinking about what's going on right now. They're just like, oh, it's nice it is. It calms you down. When you're like reading something, you won't be thinking about what is going on. Don't like makes you read something that like gives you stress. Don't be like having all notifications, all these things on. Don't give yourself that stress. What to do if you can't sleep? Don't sleep after 10:30 p.m. because your like hormone goes in cycles, and if you're sleeping later, you might like not fall asleep for the next hour. And sleeping your right side is a sunnah, and also it's been proven that like it's best for like your organs to sleep on your right side. Stimulate the parasympathetic nerve system, and this is the nerve system that like sleep and digest. Don't think, don't take caffeine, and like don't have a lot of stress. Alcohol is harm, but just don't even think about alcohol. Being bloated, like if you just eating like a really fatty meal before bed, like you won't be able to fall asleep if you're bloated. Eye cover is something that I think is really underrated. If you have to sleep with a little bit light, because like you put these eye covers on and then you can just fall asleep with like light. If there's light, it makes it that you, for example, don't wake up and when it's like really light in the day. And vitamin D, something that you should take. And don't have your phone next to bed. EMF light, like literally that light from your phone, it's gonna help you make you fall asleep very like hard. If you're having leg cramps in the night, you need magnesium, sodium, potassium, maybe calcium even. Because all these electrolytes, magnesium, sodium, potassium, they are required for you to fall asleep very easily. And vitamin B1 is something that you should take as well. And taking alcohol, having alcohol, and consuming sugar also decreases like vitamin B1. And you should be, and you should also be reading a book before bed as well. You should be listening to an audiobook and check if you actually have a proper problem. If you genuinely can't sleep, check with your doctor that you don't have a proper problem. Check it genuinely with your doctor. Foods that help you with protein intake. Quark is something that I noticed in Sweden is very popular. This dairy product has like 10% protein and 60 calories. Very protein dense. It's also rich in vitamins such as vitamin D and protein. Like eggs are very rich in vitamin D and protein. And red meat as well is very nutrient dense, has protein, iron. Chicken breast has taurine, and using your cells for like action, very protein dense, chicken breast especially. And milk has calcium, other vitamins that are very like necessary, has potassium a little bit as well. Very good for your growth. Cheese as well has calcium and high protein. It also has can sometimes a very good amount of fat to be able to make you go on a calorie surplus. Cheap protein for saving money. Skimmed milk. It's like you can't really drink that much milk. Like you're gonna be eventually like feeling really full. But like for 100 milliliters, 3.5 grams of protein is quite good and 34 calories. Normal milk as well, because normal milk has like 60 calories or something. But it's better for you like bulking. So when you're having, as well, ground turkey has less fat. It's cheaper than ground beef. Kidney beans, I wouldn't really recommend it because, I mean, if you can, if it's like it's very cheap, but like plant protein, I wouldn't recommend it. Greek yogurt as well, 10% protein, it's like a really good snack, especially with the high fat, like 20%. And when you are having, and whole eggs as well, they have 24 grams like protein for 4 eggs. And canned tuna in water. Oil would probably be better for bulking, but like it's better water in my opinion. I'd like it with water. It has like 20.16 grams of protein drained. $1 cost me. Lean ground beef is like not extra lean ground because the extra lean ground is a lot more expensive. Make sure it's halal, so don't have like the haram one. Okay, so but whey protein. If you're paying $20 for 1 kilo, 77%. That's 770 grams of protein, which equates to around 30 grams of protein for $0.8. That's like the cheapest protein source. This is some easy bread that I made. It has 2 ingredients: flour mixed with baking powder. Now you can buy self-rising flour as well, and mix it with baking powder and flour, and then put yogurt, the same amount of yogurt. So 50 grams flour, 50 grams yogurt, and then afterwards grease a pan, like cast iron pan, especially because Teflon is not very good. It can like literally give you cancer, and grease it with olive oil or melted butter, and then put the dough on the pan and like press it down, and then like until you get the right shape and it turns out amazing. It's also seed oil free and a healthy bread alternative to most of the breads that have all these preservatives in them. It's also very simple to make. Stretches. This one stretch that I used to do is I should be doing it. It's like you stand up on a wall, have your back touching the wall, your like lower back as well touching the wall, and your feet, and then go like this. Take your arms up like this, and then go from a Y position to a W position. And if you sit a lot, especially, stretches can help you to maximum potential. It isn't as important the rest, but if you do this with the rest, will also help you to be able to grow faster and also make you stand up more straight. Don't focus on this too much. Don't just go. This is probably one of the micro things, and something that I've been doing for the past few months: sleeping with a pillow between my leg. I saw some video about this. I don't know. There's no scientific evidence I've seen, but like it stretches out my legs, help me able to like not be like curled up when I'm sleeping. I'd sleep fast. This is usually the method that I use to fall asleep fast every night. Lay down. Breathe in and out like at the same speed. That is in a like just keep thinking about your breaths. Like you don't be thinking about anything else. And then as well, what I do is I visualize myself on an island. I visualize myself sitting there next to the seashore, just sitting there, chilling out. And then make sure you've done this before you tire yourself out. Like, make sure you've read a little bit, because I think that helps as well. And just make sure that you are like being trying to be like not stressed. How to bulk the complicated way. Now I was trying to do this, but I never succeeded because like if you're really good at like because if you're really like good at following, for example, like your calories, like getting in all the macro, like basically just doing the complicated stuff. Eat like 300 calories above your maintenance. See how many calories you're burning, how many calories you're consuming, and see if you keep staying the same weight. That's your maintenance. Then go 300 calories above that, and then keep bulking, like eating more. You'll be growing, and don't eat any sugar, because this will make you like get excess calories that aren't even good for you. And don't eat ultra processed, because I know normal processed, it's basically impossible to avoid unless you're like really rich. And eat a lot of whole foods. I don't know, potatoes, beef, chicken, egg, like sourdough bread, and pasta. I know this is kind of processed, but like it's not ultra processed. And eat high fat dairy, milk, etc. Don't eat like the milk that is like low fat. So the fat isn't gonna kill you, by the way. The fat is where a lot of like the nutrients are as well. Eat plenty of butter, normal butter from like cows, like they come from milk. Like that one has like 700 calories per 100 grams. That's a really good bulking. Bonus section for Muslim, bro. Make dua. Make dua every day that Allah makes you grow taller. Make dua as well. Be also grateful. Have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believe in the qadr. Believe in the qadr. Like, don't stop making dua. Be patient. Allah will answer you. Do your best. The same way I tie your camel and do your best and let it be in the trust of Allah. Do your best. Do follow all the things I'm telling you. Just sleep as much as you can. Still try your best. I know this might sound a bit counterintuitive, like tahajjud, like it's gonna make your sleep worse, but like they say that the dua at tahajjud is like as of an arrow that doesn't miss its target. If you anyway waking up like beginning of Fajr time, just wake up 20 minutes earlier. Just sleep a little bit earlier if you can. And wake up and just pray 2 rakahs and then 3 rakahs witr. Just make extra dua. Try sleeping 3 to 4 cycles before Fajr, because like then if you have slept 90-minute cycles, like your body sleeps in 90-minute cycles where you go through like rapid eye movement sleep, you go for all these, and one part is like when you're actually like growing deep sleep. And when you've gone through many cycles, that's when a lot of the common hormones like testosterone have been released. How I slept as a Muslim, literally, Fajr was at like 2:30 in the summer, a.m. I often just slept like maybe max 1 or 2 hours before Fajr. I slept like 1 or 2 hours. So I was basically like almost like feeling as if I hadn't slept at all. And then I slept like non-stop, minimum 8 to 9 hours after that. To like 11:30, 10:30. And I know it must sound unproductive, but it gave me at least a consistent like sleep, those sleep cycles. Especially during the winter, you can probably have a better sleep cycle. Because if you want to be able to sleep consistently and early, you can sleep from Isha to Fajr, literally like there's like 12 hours between. I remember the earliest time for me is like Isha 5:45 p.m. or something like that, and then Fajr starting at like 6:15, 6:20 a.m. And that's a lot of hours, almost like I don't know how many hours. I can't bother to think that, but like it's like 12 hours, something like that. And during the summer, if you have no school, you can also sleep a lot. That's what I was doing. It's easy to get the interrupted sleep that way without school. School is literally like ruining your growth. I'm honestly, school is literally one of the worst things for like growing. And when the time when like Isha to Fajr is short, you could stay up and then sleep. Like I wouldn't really recommend that. That we end up you're sleeping like 2:30, 3 a.m., especially if you're like living not as north as me. I'm living in like Sweden, and Sweden is really like Fajr is like 2:30. Genetics do matter. I know like people saying that genetics don't matter. They do matter like 60% maybe, but not as much as you think. Genetically, you might be able to grow like the same way I was told that I was gonna be genetically only 6'1", and I grew 1 to 3 like more inches than that. You can grow like 1 to 3 inches more than you think. If your parents are very tall, if your maybe parents are like 5'9" both, don't expect to be 6'5". You can still like be a good height. No. If you're like parents 5'9", if you're expected to be like 5'9", 5'10", you can maybe grow to like 6'1", and just try your best because you make sure you just don't waste your potential. Because if you're at least following some of these things, you will be able to at least increase your potential growth. Don't be sad because you're the genetics. You literally can't change it. Allah made you that way. Don't be say Alhamdulillah. There might be someone who's shorter than you. They might be like really sad because of their genetics, and then there might be someone shorter than him. And you don't want to be too tall, but like you kind of want to grow. But like you cannot change your genetics. Don't only be annoyed with things that are in your control, your diet, your exercise. Be annoyed with that. You need to be grateful. Because if your genetics are very bad, but your diet and everything else is good, you can probably grow a lot taller than what you actually think. I was told I was going to stop at growing at 18, 17, but then 6'1". How am I 15 and I'm 6'2"? Because I was doing a lot of good things. I was doing a lot of things that are good. And this shows that you can outgrow your genetics. Just put the hard work in. And that, and this is literally the end of my video where I was talking about how you can grow the ultimate teenage growth guide, especially for Muslims. You guys, Muslims as well. May Allah make it easy for you guys. May Allah make it easy for you guys to grow taller, because literally tall growing is probably one of the like most annoying like things that if you are like shorter than other people, you'd be feeling like no one likes me. But I was alhamdulillah be able to grow to I was able to grow to like 6'2", and I can't believe still that I was like told that I was only gonna be growing to like 6'1", and I was gonna stop growing when I was 17. Yeah, I'll make it easy for you. Assalamu alaikum.